Graphing quadratic functions. If you printed the packet, it's pages 1 and 2. I'm assuming you didn't. So here are the 5 functions we'll be graphing. And for each graph, we'll be identifying the vertex, the axis of symmetry. We'll identify 5 points, and we'll identify the solutions. And solutions are the x-intercepts. So if you want to put that down on a piece of paper to follow along through the lesson, go ahead and do that. So to begin with, we need to go to Desmos.com. And we are going to use the graphing calculator, so just start graphing. And to the left here is where we input our function, and it will graph us all on the same page. This is going to be a lot easier than the TI-84. So they have a keypad down here with some of the math symbols we'll need. You can also use your keyboard or a combination of both. So the first function we'll graph is f of x equals x squared minus 8x plus 15. We don't have to write f of x. We can just type in x squared minus 8x plus 15. All right, and here's our graph. We move it around if we want here. Right, first thing we're going to do is identify the vertex. So we just go to the turning point here, and our vertex is 4, -1. Our axis of symmetry is the vertical line that goes through the vertex. So let's graph that. We're going to go back over here and type in x equals 4. And that's our line of symmetry. Now, if we were to graph this by hand, we want 5 points. We want 2 to the left of the vertex and 2 to the right. So we need a table. So we are going to highlight our function here. We're going to edit the list, and we're going to choose Convert to Table. So by default, it's giving us 5 points. So I'm going to go to 0 and type 4. That's the turning point. That's the vertex. And then I'm going to subtract 1 from that. 4 minus 1 is 3. 3 minus 1 is 2. And then add them. 5 and 6. So my vertex, axis of symmetry, here are the 5 points if I were to graph this by hand. And I need to also identify the solutions, which is the x-intercept. So 3 is a solution, and 5 is a solution. And that's all we're doing. All right, so let's go ahead and clear our calculator and do the next function. Y equals x squared plus 4x plus 8. So again, I just need to type in the x squared plus 4x plus 8. I'm going to move my graph in view here. Identify my vertex. My vertex is -2, 4. So now I want to graph my axis of symmetry. So that's going to be x equals -2. So go over here. X equals -2. So now I need 2 points to the left and 2 points to the right. So I'm going to I'm going to click on that, edit my list, convert to table. We'll change that 0 to a -2. And that's going to be -3. So those are my 5 points if I were to graph this by hand. That's my axis of symmetry. That's my vertex. Now my solutions are my x-intercepts. Well, here's the x-axis, And this graph is not touching the x-axis, so there are no solutions. Okay, let's clear our calculator. Do the next graph. Y equals x squared minus 4x plus 7. Here's my vertex, which is 2, 3. My axis of symmetry is the vertical line, x equals 2. Now I need 2 points to the left and 2 points to the right. Click on my function, edit list, convert to table, change that 0 to 2. And those are my 5 points. If I were to graph it by hand, I could use those 5 points. And again, my solutions are my x-intercepts, which are no solution. Clear the calculator. F of x equals x squared plus 6x plus 8. My vertex is -3, -1. So my line of symmetry is x equals -3. I need 2 points to the left and 2 points to the right. Click on my function, edit list, convert to table. There are my 5 points, and my solutions are -4 and -2. Clear our graph and our final example here. F of x equals -x squared minus 4x minus 3. My vertex is -2, 1. My axis of symmetry is x equals -2. And I need 2 points to the left and 2 points to the right. And my solutions here are -3 and -1. That's how you graph quadratic functions, and it's very easy with this Desmos calculator.